Precision CAD CAM. Today we're going to take a look at creating the tool pass for our 7-jam part and preparing it to cut on the CNC mill. First, I have Inventor open on my computer screen. I also have this video playing on the iPad next to my computer. That's the best way to be set up for success here. With Inventor, we're going to go up to the top left-hand corner of Inventor, click on the orange file, and we're going to go down to Open. After all this part is saved in our H drive, we want to select Open in order to pull it out of our H drive. And right now here it automatically defaults to first initial last name 000. If it does not, you're going to click on the pull down menu here and you're going to choose first initial last name 000 from the options that are there. Usually it's the last one in the bottom of the list. And we're going to find our 7-jam part and click Open. Excellent. We have our part open now. Once this part is open on your screen, we're on the 3D Model tab above our ribbon bar. We're going to follow the tabs above the ribbon bar and we're going to pass over Sketch, Annotate, Inspect, Tools, and go to CAM. Once you're at the CAM tab, click to select it. And now our ribbon changes to our CNC options. We're going to come up to the Job section in our ribbon bar and we're going to click Setup. Okay. Once we're on our setup, we want to take and we want to keep this at stock box point, and we want to select our lower left hand corner in our front view. That changes our origin, our work coordinate system, from the center of our part to the lower left hand corner where our tool is starting. Next, let's select our next tab. We want to change this to a fixed size box. This is a little different than we've usually done, so let's follow along. We're going to change our width here to 8 inches. We're going to change our depth to 4 inches. And we're going to change our height to 0.75. We're also going to, where it says round up to the nearest, we're going to highlight this section here, and we're going to change that to 0. Okay, now what does this do for us? Well, if we take a look at our right side view, you can see that it's up tight next to the back of our part and the front of our part. But when we take a look at our front view, which is where we're cutting from, you can see that we have this extra area around here that our tool will be able to contour cut this part out for us. Let's go back to home. Let's go to our third tab over here, and we're going to change our program name to 7-jam, and then click OK in the bottom menu on the left hand side. Okay, so our part is set up. Next, we're going to take and we're going to pocket out the sections here that are in the middle. We're going to do that with a 2D pocket. So we're going to go up to our 2D milling section up here, and we're going to find our 2D pocket option. Click to select it. We're going to take these tabs from left to right, take a look at each tab from top to bottom. So first, in this first tab, we're going to take and select our tool. We're going to go to this little arrow window on the left hand side. We're going to scroll down until we find our End Mills folder, which is right underneath Sample Libraries, and we're going to choose tool number 2, 1/4 inch flat end mill, and click Select. Okay, that shows our end mill right there. Let's go to our next tab, which is where we're going to identify what pockets we're going to be selecting. We're going to choose the top of this rib first, and then the bottom surface over here on this side, and the bottom surface on this side. Okay, once we have those done, we're going to take and establish our height. So let's click our third tab over. This should look familiar to us. This is going to stay the same as we've done in the past. Clearance height, retract height, and feed height, we're going to change to stock top and 0.2, stock top and 0.2, and our feed height as well to stock top and 0.2. Let's go on to our fourth tab. Okay, where it says stock to leave, we're going to uncheck this box here because we want to cut up right next to our geometry that's on our rib and off to the sides. Then we're going to go over to our last tab, which is our linking parameters tab. we're going to change our safe distance here to 0.2. In the leads and transitions, we're going to uncheck lead in, uncheck lead out. And in the ramp section, we're going to change the ramp type from helix to plunge. Let's see what else we have in here. Everything else looks okay. So let's go and click OK in the bottom left-hand corner of our model browser bar. It generates those toolpaths. Next, we're going to bore out these holes that are in the center. To do that, we're going to get our free orbit tool from the navigation pane on the right hand side, and we're going to rotate this around so that we can see the bottom edge of the holes that are in our part. To let go of our bar, we can click our navigation pane and our free orbit tool, or you can press the escape key on your keyboard. And then we're going to go up to 2D Pocket once again from our 2D milling section in our ribbon bar. Select 2D Pocket. Identifies our tool right here at our origin. We're going to go and select our tool and re-identify that. We're going to select NMills folder, which is underneath sample libraries. We're going to choose tool number 2, 1/4 inch flat NMill. Click select. We're going to go to our geometry tab next. For our pocket selection, I want the inside bottom of that hole. Now once again, I'm going to take and scroll in here a little bit so we can see. I want the bottom of that hole, not the surface, not the top edge. I want the bottom edge of that hole on the left and the bottom edge of the hole on the right. Okay? Next, we're going to take and move over to our third tab where we establish our heights. Now once again, the clearance height, retract height, and feed height, we're going to change to stock top and 0.2. Stock top and 0.2 for retract height, and in our feed height, we're going to change to stock top and 0.2. Excellent. Let's move on to our next tab. Now, these are 3/4 of an inch thick, so we're going to have to take this in multiple passes. So let's go down to the area in our tab where we can see multiple depths. We're going to click on that. We're going to change the maximum roughing step down distance right here. We're going to click to select that, and we're going to change that to 0.25. Scrolling down in this tab where it says stock to leave, we're going to uncheck that box because we want it right up next to our geometry that we created. And then we're going to go on to our final tab, our linking parameters tab. In the linking section, where the safe distance, we're going to click to select that. You can see it's highlighted red. We're going to change that to 0.2. In our leads and transitions, we're going to uncheck lead in, uncheck lead out. Scroll down a little bit, and our ramp section, we're going to change the ramp type from helix. We're going to change that to plunge. With those created, we're going to click OK. Excellent. So now we have the pocket for the outside, the top of the rib, and the bottom part. We have our holes getting bored out next. And now we need to contour cut this going around the outside. So we're going to go up to our 2D milling section once again, and we're going to select 2D contour. Click to select it. And we're going to re-identify our tool. So we're going to click our tool button, scroll down to the NMills underneath sample libraries, select tool number 2, 1/4 inch NMill. That puts that part right there. We're going to select our contour. And we want the outermost back part, edge, corner in the backmost part of our part. I don't know how else to describe that. So the backmost part on that edge, we want to click. You can see it highlight blue around. Make sure your matches that. While we're here, we're also going to select our tabs option. We're going to keep our tabs at 1/4 inch for the width. We're going to change our height of the tab to 0.125 and the distance in between them at 2 I think that looks okay. Let's go on to our third tab where we establish our heights. We're all familiar with this operation. Clearance height, retract height, and feed height. You know these go to stock top and point 2, stock top and point 2, and the feed height also goes to stock top and point 2. Moving on to our next tab. This part is 3/4 of an inch thick, so we know that we're going to have to take that in multiple passes. So we're going to scroll down a little bit here. Where it says multiple depths, we're going to check that. And our maximum roughing step down distance right here, we're going to select and change that to 0.25. Okay, let's see what else is in here for us. Everything else looks good. Let's go on to our final tab. The safe distance in the linking section, we're going to take and highlight that, and we're going to change that to 0.2. Leads and transition section, we're going to change and uncheck lead out, uncheck lead in. So these two should be unselected. And we're going to click OK in the menu on the left hand side. So now let's take a look at what we have. I have my pocket 1, which is the pocket for the top of the rib and the bottom two surfaces here. We have our pocket 2, which is going to bore out these holes that are in the middles of each circle. And then we're going to contour cut around the outside, and you can see that we have these notches here that identify the tabs that's going to hold it secure in our vise on the CNC mill. Okay, if you follow that along with me, let's click our setup 1 to make sure we have all tool paths selected. We're going to click simulate. We're going to check box to turn the stock on, and let's click play. It's going to take and pocket out the rib first, then our two sides. Then it's going to take and bore out our two holes. And then we're going to take and contour cut around the outside, and we're going to have those nifty little tabs that are available for us. It's going to take it in a couple passes because that's overall 3/4 of an inch thick. Let me rotate around so we can see those tabs. Okay, you can see those tabs right in here. That's going to secure it inside of our stock piece so that it doesn't fall out while we're cutting it on the mill. I'm going to click home. Awesome job, looks great. No red in the area down here at the bottom, which shows that we don't have any collisions with the machine. And then we're going to click close in our menu on the left hand side. Let's go up to post process tab. Click post process. We want to change our output folder to our H drive. Click on the button right there. Choose your H drive on the left hand side. Click select folder. You can see our file name carries through, 7Jam, and then we're going to click post. Make sure we're at 7Jam again and click save once again. We're going to see our HSM editor pop up at the top up here. This shows us our M and G codes, which control the machine, and our X, Y, and Z coordinates that show us the location of our tool while it's cutting. Let's X this screen out. And now we're going to go up to the top left hand corner, the orange file, go down to orange file, go down to save. We're going to update those changes. Once again, you want orange file and down to save. Not a bad thing to do it twice. And now you're finished with your 7Jam. Make sure you get up, go over and tell your teacher that you have created the 7Jam random tool pass, and you're ready to cut it on a CNC mill. Congratulations, awesome job. We'll see you in the next video.